Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code PHIL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code PHIL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PHIL.
Hello again. Hello. I just called to say hello. It is the 12th of October, 2021. This show happens each and every weekday in the Baldwin Ace Hardware Fear Bunker studio. The Eric Zane Show podcast begins now. Hey, he doesn't care. He doesn't care. Zaniac.
Here's a man who's usually wrong, but he doesn't care. Here's a man who
eat things that'll make a billy goat puke.
You're not rocking with the best.
You're not rocking with the best. It's the Eric Zane Show podcast. And here's your host, Eric Zane.
Thank you, Kevin. Oops. Cow fade. Hold on. Gotta do it right. Whoops. Good morning to you all. This is a daily show where I discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. Each and every day of the work week. All right. So much to get to today. You know who is the happiest man in America right now? Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer is like, holy shit. Thank God. Thank God. Because I have just had it. No one cares anymore. But the whole Urban Meyer thing. There is nobody that gives a shit about Urban Meyer. The story already was starting to die down, until he gets fired. But he's like, for God's sake, thank you, John Gruden. Thank you. He's calling. He's texting him. He's sending him flowers. He's sending him like Omaha steaks. He's sending him Sherry's berries and pajamagrams. I don't know. Tell you what, man, it was good to talk to old Urban Meyer, man. Urban Meyer called me and he said, "Hey, John, I'm right there with you, so I know I got the support of Urban Meyer. At the end of the day, us coaches have to stick together. I'll tell you what, man. They call that guy Urban Meyer because that's his name." All right. More on that a little later. You know what? Before Frank Caliendo started doing I take it back. Frank Caliendo started doing the John Gruden bit, and I started doing that as well. I remember I started talking about, I started like throwing it out there before I even knew that Caliendo was doing it. And then I was like, holy shit. He joined me on my old show, and then I started throwing out Grudenisms, and then he started throwing out Grudenisms, and then I realized that he does it so much better because when Caliendo does John Gruden, he looks like John Gruden. He makes the facial expressions like you wouldn't believe. He actually, whenever he does an impression of somebody, Frank Caliendo, you see his face transform. Like when he does Stephen A. Smith, he looks like Stephen A. Smith. Absolutely an amazing talent. But I digress. This is a daily show, as I said, that discuss news, nonsense, and my personal adventures, and we are chock full of personal adventures. First of all, this morning, I noticed something out of the corner of my eye, a very stealthy NFK, my brother-in-law who lives with us, emerged from slumber. By the way, yesterday I was, I didn't expect this. I was assuming the position on the throne, and the door opens of the bathroom, and I'm like, hello? And, oh, shit, fuck, sorry. I'm like, what the? He was coming in to take a shower. All right. It takes a village, however we get there, as long as we get there. Still not doing a great job of showering, but at this point, the goal is just as long as he knocks the stink off. Stink knockage is important on our old pal, the NFK. But this morning, it was, as I'm sitting there making the lunch for the Queen of the Forest for her work day, and out of the corner of my eye, I see something moving in the distance out in the living room area. And it's the NFK, because part of his, what he likes to do every day, part of the ritual. Remember, I've described to you that he has to have a routine. And he has created all of these little tasks that are part of his day. And one of the tasks is when he wakes up in the morning, he has to almost organize that room that he spends so many hours watching TV. Okay, so he's folding blankets that may be needing folding. Picking up, I don't know, whatever it is that needs to be picked up, which is why occasionally they'll be like, he draws the line of shit on the floor, though. He'll come in and say, hey, man, somebody went poo-poo. And yes, he does speak with a southern accent. He was raised with two of America's biggest hillbillies, my dear in-laws. So it kind of rubbed off on him. Hey, man, one of the dogs took a poo-poo. Okay, all right, I'll get that. So that did not happen. But the other thing is he likes to, like, pick up the dog toys that the dogs scatter about, you know. And apparently Daisy... Okay, you get this dog anything made of... I tell you what, man, they call that dog Lockjaw because she's always chewing on things. I don't know why Diana does this, but she buys hard rubber toys like a Kong or a big Kong bone, you know, and they're like, it says right in the package, indestructible. Not so. That is bullshit. What she does is she chews on them and then rips a big hunk of rubber off and then normally swallows it. So we have one time she threw up a big hunk of rubber from a Kong, the part with the hole in it. You know, they create those with the hole in the middle so you can put treats in there so that when they swallow them, they won't choke to death. She puked up a piece of a Kong that we hadn't had for probably a year and a half. So think about that. Yeah, I can only imagine what's in the abyss of this dog's stomach because so the NFK finds the rubber bone and a big chunk, the end of the bone chewed off but not swallowed. And he comes walking in to where I'm making the lunch and he sets them down like that. In one hand is the piece that has been chewed off. The other hand, the whole bone. And he knows that this is a bad thing. He knows Daisy's done this, and he knows that you don't want this because we don't want the dog to, you know, have giant hunks of rubber in her fucking stomach. He comes walking in the room, and I'm just sitting there, and all of a sudden, right in front of me, two slimy pieces of rubber. He puts them down. While looking at them, he points at them. I think I was on the phone talking to Diane about what she wanted in her lunch at the time. So that's not going to stop him. He points at them and then looks at me and then walks away. So now I know. Throw it out. That's it. Comes back. You can't get her anything made of rubber. I go, yeah, you're right. I'll tell Diana. I'll remind her again. No rubber toys for the dog. Walks away, sits down, assumes the position. Off and running on the day's TV viewing. All right. Yesterday was rough. And I say this story knowing full well that this is, I give this story knowing full well that this could possibly get back to the Queen of the Forest, to Pooh Bear, but I'm asking for secrecy. I know that there's bound to be somebody who doesn't like me enjoying the show, says, well, I'm not going to keep this secret. I'm going to tell your wife. But I don't care because it was an accident, but one that was bound to happen. Diana's car, the front end was recently replaced. And before that, it had been replaced. And before that, it had been replaced. And if you look at the front end of pretty much any vehicle that I have, they all need to be replaced. If a vehicle is owned by anybody in this family, it's going to be pretty much destroyed. One thing or another is going to happen. One thing that we do not excel at is taking care of vehicles. There's always something happening to make them be really damaged. Yesterday was that day to damage Diana's vehicle. And if she happens to be hearing this right now, she's like, wait, what? Okay, so I recently had gone to Riverbend Body Shop, replaced the whole front end because why did that happen again? Why did that get replaced again? I forget. It was already damaged. And then I think someone damaged it, or I don't even remember how it happened the last time. I think I might have done it. I don't even recall. All I know is it was tore up. Take it there, get it fixed. Looking great. Until yesterday. I've got that RV in the driveway, the camper, and I'm going to clean it out because I used it over the weekend. Before I return it, I want to vacuum all the dog hair out of it. And it's hot as hell in there because it was really warm yesterday. So I need to turn on the air conditioning. The only way I can turn on the air conditioning is by turning the vehicle around, backing out, and then backing the thing in. The reason why you have to do that is because the exhaust from the generator to run the air conditioner is on one side of the vehicle. And if I fire it up when it's in the direction that it was in, the exhaust will kill the grass. So you got to turn the vehicle around. I get in there, put it in reverse, step on the gas, wham! Oh! And I realize, fuck! Diana is behind the camper. Her car, her Dodge Journey. Put it in park. And the amount of time to get out of the vehicle and get within where I can see the front end is like, I'm like, oh, okay, how bad is it? How bad is it? And not that bad. In fact, if you all keep your mouths zipped, okay, I'm guessing she won't notice it. I felt like an asshole. It is a minor cosmetic thing. And I'm like, how? Because, the thing that you hook the trailer onto, it's like, the bumper hitch or whatever the hell it is. It's like the ball, and then whatever you're towing goes on top of that. That thing hit the front of the car. And I'm like, how is this? This is a 15,000 pound vehicle and I wasn't going slow. How did this is plastic. This is a miracle. So I'm like, well, I think it's barely noticeable. Barely noticeable. Something else, some other piece of plastic got a little wonky, and I like snap that back into place. And I think it's going to be okay. So then she doesn't know what's up. So I walk into the house. I have to move her car, obviously, and go get the key. And she doesn't wonder why I'm back in the house. I just go in, I get the spare key, don't say a damn word. Move the vehicle, move the motorhome, back the motorhome in. And then I noticed that I've done all of this on the motorhome with the parking brake on. So the brakes are completely pushed up against, whatever the discs or the drums, whatever the fuck is on this stupid thing. And I can't figure out why it's what the hell's going on. It never even occurred to me at the time until later on in the day when I ended up moving it. I noticed that the parking brake was on. It's like, I never took the parking brake off. So just turning this thing around, moving it a total of 30 feet, I smashed into my wife's car and I drove this motorhome with the parking brake on, which probably caused some serious, I don't know what the hell type of disruption it would have caused doing that, but it can't be good. Absolute abortion. All right, chalk it up to life. That's the worst thing that happens to me. No big deal. Thanks again to Compound Media. My show is available on Compound Media that I recorded for them. You're like, what is Compound Media? What is going on there? What is that? You've mentioned it before. Let me explain this to you really, really quickly, in case you're just tuning in. Years ago, very, very famous show, the Opie and Anthony Show. Okay? Did their thing on terrestrial radio. Then they went to satellite, Sirius XM. Then Anthony got fired. 7 years ago, just over 7 years ago, Anthony takes his show online. All of it was behind a paywall, nothing free. And he's been able to thrive with his platform is called Compound Media, because that comes from, he used to do a show from the compound. It was like in his house. Very nice house, but he did it from there. Not that different. Mine's more like a poverty version of that. But Anthony then started to add a lot of stable of shows to Compound Media. So when you pay for a subscription to it, you get all of these shows. So you pay a few bucks a month and you get all these different shows that he's handpicked to be coming from Compound Media. He's got a studio in New York City where people come in. There's cameras. They shoot. It's a video audio experience. You enjoy those shows. Okay. I got lucky enough to be invited onto the Anthony Cumia show back in mid-August. That appearance, when I visited New York City, led to, hey, why don't we have you record a pilot show, Eric Zane? I did the pilot show. And then I did a second show. That is available now. And it's actually titled Eric Zane Show 001. And so if 001 goes well, there'll be a 002. If you want to see how I did it, it's not that different than what this is. It's just to a completely different audience. You would go to compoundmedia.com and sign up. And you can check out Anthony's show and a number of the other shows all of the other shows that are on there. They do a great job. It looks spectacular. It's, like having access to a bunch of hilarious TV shows, talk shows. Okay? So there you go. My Facebook ban is ending today. I'm a little concerned that once it ends, though, I won't be able to post because like I indicated yesterday, there's some type of weird authentication that they're asking me to do that I haven't been able to figure out yet. And I don't know if that's because I'm still banned for a couple of hours or what, but I knew that it was on the 12th of October. It would be the end of the 30-day ban. Okay. And then Tyler says, and the new ban will begin tomorrow. You all should make bets. Okay. About how long it takes until I'm banned again. By the way, Dean writes, sick fuck Dean, son of a bitch. I promise not to tell Pooh Bear about you smashing into her car unless I talk in my sleep. You are a fucking mongrel. You know that? You're disgusting. Where was I? I don't even know what I was talking about. Oh, Facebook. So I think when I started this show, I had 3 hours remaining on the ban. Dirk says 2-factor authentication is to make sure it's you and you're not being hacked. It's a good idea for your accounts. And I did know that, but here's the thing. All this month, I've been trying to do it. It says, hey, determined by text. If it's you, we're going to send a text message with a 6-digit number to this phone number, your cell phone number. And I go, all right, great. So then they send it. It shows up with the six numbers. And then it says, enter it here. And then I enter it here. And it says, authentication failed. And I'm like, how? How can it fail? I did exactly what you told. So I don't know. I'm thinking perhaps it might have something to do with the ban, but I am not sure. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I was able to do this. If I look at my account, my Facebook account, it says Eric Z, account restricted. You cannot comment or post for 3 more hours. See why. And you click on it, and it lists all of the problems. April 9th, 2021. I posted a little, yeah. What I'd like to do is kick your ass. They didn't like that. Your comment did not follow our community standards. Then, July 8th, 2021. No shit. I've been doing this forever. I make one crack about a disgusting anorexic crack whore who can eat 50 hot dogs and the world goes crazy. Your comment didn't follow our community standards on harassment or bullying. Eric Zane accepted the decision. July 30th. They're getting closer together now. Somebody, I think I was talking about, I was trying to get somebody to sign up for the Patreon or something like that. And I wrote, sign up, you cheap bitch. Another bullying infraction. Your comments didn't follow our community standards on harassment or bullying. A little time off. I made it to September 3rd. I was in a argument about COVID, and apparently I wrote, a parasite is not a virus, you dumb ape. Which I have no idea if that's even true or not. Again, I said this to Jamie Brinks. Bullying. I am a full-on bully. Then I was making a comment on Zaniac United about, I forgot the dude's name that I was bitching about. But I wrote, and I tagged Jason Schaeffer. That's fine. I just thought you all might like to know I've had a feeling about him. I had banned somebody from Zaniac United. I had a feeling about him for some time. His liking the posts of trolls who bring up me being fired 6 years ago and other nonsense. Fuck that guy. If I ran into him, I'd strangle him. And that's what did it. Bullying. Let's see. Accept decision. I never did accept the decision. It's just funny to see them all lined up like that. It's all not going to matter because I am going to be, I can promise you, and you all probably don't believe me, I am never going to be banned again. This is it. It would be a miracle. I can't even get behind that. I can't even stay clean for 2 days. But that was all the reason why I've made it so that in short order, the show will be available for the live stream on Twitch. Right now, you're getting the live stream on Twitter and YouTube. All right. It's going to be available on Twitch before you know it. So if I were you, I would go to twitch.com/Eric Zane, Eric Zane, all one word, and subscribe to that page. I have a meeting today. I thought it was going to be yesterday, but today is the meeting with my Twitch buddies. 1:30. So starting that process. And you're like, well, how come it takes so long? Well, it takes a while because it's not easy. There's a lot of page building and things like that going on. It's honestly, to this time, it's not because of anybody dragging their feet. I still am on Facebook, though, and will be on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. In fact, when I get done with the Twitch live stream, it gets pushed out to those platforms, which is awesome. So you'll still be able to see it on there. It'll just be through Twitch. But if you want it live in the moment, which a lot of you do consume the show that way, that's how you do it. It allows you to comment, be part of the fun, and it is free. Nothing changes. You just click on Twitch. You will see an ad at some point during the show. If you want to skip the ad and you have Amazon Prime, you will end up signing up with Amazon Prime. More details about how that works. And when you sign up with Amazon Prime, that makes it so that you get no ads, no interruptions whatsoever. All right. But in the meantime, the YouTube page is brought to you by My Policy Shop Insurance. Subscribe to the channel, bell notification when I go live, and thumbs up. Thank you to Frank Fuss from My Policy Shop Insurance, a licensed independent insurance agent. Facebook.com/Eric Zane fan page. That is brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. Thank you so much. And EV. Let me get that right. Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid, and EV. And then on the almighty Twitter, at Eric Zane Show on Twitter. Please follow me there. That's brought to you by Blue Frost IT, the managed IT service provider for the Eric Zane Show podcast, which reminds me, I need to put a note on there. Pay your bill. Okay, hang on. To do. My to-do list. Pay Blue Frost. Big Dick Donnie writes, would you like Chris Kattan on sometime in the next few days? I also have Dave Hofstetter, Tommy Davidson, and Bill Bellamy at points this week. We can do it all, period. I'll call you today. All right. Dear Meathead, with my 87-year young father, tomorrow. If you have questions for Dad, send them along, eric@ericzaneshow.com. On the Shoreliners Striping inbox. Shoreliners Striping. Online at shorelinersstriping.com. Get the parking lot in good shape, looking good for your customers with Shoreliners Striping. Boy, hockey starts this week. Friday, Van Andel Arena. No COVID restrictions for the event. There will be just under 11,000 people jammed in there for a hockey game super spreader extravaganza. They're going to be serving COVID at the concession stands. It's going to be a massive outbreak. Michigan is a hot zone right now. 3,000 to 4,000 cases a day. The country seems to be going down, but Michigan is skyrocketing. You guys are sick as shit, but that's not stopping anybody. We're going to have a packed house there, shoulder to shoulder, elbow to elbow, and it's a little weird, because 1 year ago, I mean, everything was shut down, and now no one gives a flying fuck. Nobody cares. People are just living with it, I think, as best that they can. Of course, plenty of people are vaccinated. That doesn't mean you're not going to get sick. That doesn't mean that you're not going to transmit COVID. It does mean that you are likely not going to get super sick or anything like that. Good luck. And the thing is, you don't need to have, this is one of the venues in the state of Michigan, which I just find this to be incredible because considering where we were here in this state, now it's like, I mean, I thought for sure you would have to have proof of vaccination in Michigan to get into any venue. But I think that the government has kind of been neutered to some degree about what can and cannot be done. So they're opening up the doors, man. They're going to pack the house. I'm actually looking forward to this thing. I've done this 8 million times, but I am pretty excited. I am anxious because at the end of the day, there's got to be that many people there enjoying the hockey game. It's been way too long since this has happened, so there's a big buzz around it. And I love the idea of leading them to that fevered pitch just before the puck drops, okay? And we're going to get that place loud. And a lot of these young players, you're looking at a lot of guys who are 20 and under who have never played in front of this many people before. So they're going to be blown away by how loud this place gets. And boy, does that rink get loud. So I'm super stoked about that. Should be good. COVID be damned, I say. All right. So again, send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com on the Shoreliner Striping inbox for Dear Meathead tomorrow with my father. All right. We'll be getting to John Gruden in a second. I tell you what, man, they call that guy unemployed. It's because he's stepping down. He got fired. He's not working. Thank you to Jen, the lovely, multi-talented Jen, who just signed up for the Patreon for 1 full year of the audio podcast. Jen, thank you. Jen G. I don't want to say your last name, but appreciate you signing up. Thank you so much. She did the 1 year thing, and she saved 10% on the audio podcast. You are fantastic. So there you go. And Patreon happens today after this show gets finished. It's a great companion podcast to this one. It's kind of like the after show, if you will. A little bit more personal, I guess, with this select bunch of people that are actually like, yeah, it's worth a few bucks and are giving me money. And I like to give you as much as I can on the Patreon to make it worth your dollars. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And you can find it at Patreon. That's Patreon. Patreon.com/Eric Zane. 15 hours of content every single week on there. Excuse me. So there you go. If you're looking for something more to listen to each week, and you're like, I just can't find another great show. Radio sucks. I'm not listening to the radio. You can check out my Patreon. And the open and the live stream of this, the free podcast today. Let's start it off with the roll call of sponsors bringing it to you. JM Synthetics. So, walk around your garage, shop, or whatever it is. I'm low on this. I'm low on that. I'm low on all of whatever it is, whatever lubrications you may buy. And I want you to buy them from Zaniac Jason Mays. Go to jmsynthetics.com. You can click on Shop Online, and the drop-down is Shop by Product or Shop by Equipment. So if you shop by equipment, it'll say car and truck, turbo diesel truck, snowmobile, ATV, UTV, all these products, dirt bike, metric motorcycle. I don't know what that means. V-twin motorcycle. It looks to me that a metric motorcycle is what, like what a douchebag would ride. And then a V-twin motorcycle is like what a guy riding a Harley would ride. Check this out. See, and the guys on the metric motorcycle right here, you notice they're like in all like matching leather gear and helmets. And then V-twin motorcycles. These hillbillies are wearing no helmets and blue jeans. What do you think of that? That tells you a lot right there. You're a douchebag if you're on a metric motorcycle. And if you're on a V-twin motorcycle, you look like an extra in the movie Mask. Marine, heavy-duty diesel equipment. Who the hell's got that? Power equipment. Racing. Motorhome. Agriculture. AMSOIL makes products for all of these. Okay? Or if you want, you can just shop by product. Motor oil, engine lubricants, hydraulic oil, compressor oil, fuel additives, transmission fluid. You see it all there. Okay, so stock up what you use. And you can do it by going to jmsynthetics.com for starters. And the best way, I know this sounds old-fashioned, but after you do that, after you figure out what you want, call Maze directly. 616-747-0233. Just tell them what you want, and then it shows up at your door. How about that? It's awesome. Thank you, A&E Heating and Cooling. Now is the time to get that furnace tuned up. We had a cold front move through yesterday. It was ridiculous. It was warm and muggy and stupid all day. And then there was a risk of storms at night. And, man, it blew through. It was fast, but it was powerful. And behind it, cold air. It won't be long till it's freezing here in the Great White North. 616-516-8579. If you are in West Michigan, get your furnace tuned up from A&E Heating and Cooling. Call today, call or text, and set it up. If you've never done this, you have to do this. Okay, don't go anywhere else. There's going to be some people charging like a ridiculously cheap price that doesn't make sense. It's a scam. Don't do it. And besides, you want to support the sponsors of this show, because when you support the sponsors of this show keeps going. If nobody went to the sponsors, then you'll see these signs disappear behind me, and then I don't do a podcast anymore because I've got to work to keep a roof over my head. So that's how it works. 616-516-8579. Book A&E Heating and Cooling to tune up your furnace. Tell you what, man, I'm out of a job. John Gruden resigns after 4 years with the Las Vegas Raiders. I remember over the weekend, I saw the story that he referred to Demarius Smith. Said, hey, man, that guy's got lips as big as Michelin tires. Now, that sounds like a racist thing to me. And I saw the story, and I didn't hear a word about it. He coached on Sunday. Nobody talked about it. I mentioned it on the show yesterday. It was actually down in the depth chart. Late in the show, I talked about the story about John Gruden saying Demarius Smith had lips as big as Michelin tires. And then I didn't hear another thing, but there was some writers from the New York Times, Ken Belson and Catherine Rossman, who were doing more digging into this, and they found out more information. So this guy is fucking out. Now wait till you hear this. There's a little bit more context to it. First of all, Tim Brown, Hall of Fame player for the Raiders and played under John Gruden. He supported John Gruden, and so did Tony Dungy and Mike Tirico, all black people. Because I talked to you yesterday that Demarius Smith, he represented the players during a walkout like 10 years ago, And Gruden was an analyst on ESPN at the time. And so he sent an email to the guy who used to run the Washington football team, then the Washington Redskins. And this email from 10 years ago surfaced. And you might be like, how did this email surface? I'll tell you that in a second. But it did surface. And he referred to this guy, this Demarius Smith, as saying his lips are as big as Michelin tires. But he also said that, tell you what, man, that's what I refer to a liar. It's a way of saying he's a liar. And everybody's like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, yeah, man, I'll tell you what, man, anybody who's a liar I refer to as rubber lips. And this Demarius Smith, man, he's got lips as big as Michelin tires. Well, I mean, why would you do that? Because, you don't have to be a genius to know that black people constantly get their lips made fun of. I mean, there's a racist joke that says, he should know better. Tell you what, I had no idea that there was jokes about black people having big lips. There's a joke that exists that says what does it say on the inside of a black guy's lips? And it says, now I'm not saying this, I'm just telling you, it says inflate to 30 pounds. And so this fucking dumbass uses this, and it's like, well, wait a minute here. So then for 10 years, that email sits. 10 years. This all came to light. Hold on, I'm getting ahead of myself. Tim Brown, Mike Tirico, and Tony Dungy. Tirico's kind of a schmuck. I think he's been accused of some crazy shit, so I'll just cut him out. But Tony Dungy and Tim Brown are serious big hitters. And they threw in their support. And Tim Brown says, oh, yeah, Gruden would say rubber lips all the time because when I first talked about it, yeah, man, I said rubber lips. That's a liar. I said, that's bullshit. You made that up. I talked about it yesterday, but he didn't. That's actually true. So if it ended there, I think that this might blow over because he's got black guys, well-respected black guys that are running to his aid. And there's like, no, that's not a racist term. He would say rubber lips. And in the context of saying rubber lips, if you say he's got Michelin tires, yes, you could make the leap but contextually, no, I would say you're safe. So you got three key things. Context, rubber lips has been said before, which as of yesterday on the show, I was like, bullshit. But known black men are saying, no, he did. At least Tim Brown. John Gruden says he did not intend to be racist when he insulted Demarius Smith in an email 10 years ago, and Tim Brown is backing him up. Brown played for Gruden for years, defended his longtime friend in a recent interview with SiriusXM. Gruden had said he wrote in 2011 email that Smith has lips the size of Michelin tires as a way of calling the NFLPA executive director a liar. Brown said he has heard Gruden use the phrase rubber lips to describe people who he believes are being untruthful. Who knew? So if you're Gruden at that point, you're like, I tell you what, man, Tim Brown's got my back, so fuck you. Okay? I've heard John use that term before, meaning that this guy's double talking or he's doing whatever, Brown said, as transcribed by the Las Vegas Review-Journal. That's just a term that he uses. Brown added that he has never experienced anything in all his years of knowing Gruden that indicated Gruden is a racist. Never, ever have I gotten anything from him that made me even pause. And Tim Brown is like always, he was the guy who's always winning like humanitarian of the year. And like, if he's not catching touchdown passes or returning kicks, he's like, saving puppies or, rushing into burning buildings. This guy is amazing. So is Tony Dungy. I think if you know Gruden, if you know anything about him, or if you've been around him, especially for the length of time that I've been knowing him, then you would have gotten a hint that this guy is not right. And there's something that's not right about him. There's no way I would have ever. That message meshes with the message Tony Dungy delivered during Sunday Night Football. Tony Dungy defended Gruden's character and said that he felt the apology was sincere. This is before the New York Times article emerged yesterday. The Raiders did condemn Gruden's remark about Smith in a statement. It's unclear if the 58-year-old will face, this is an old article, so they weren't sure. what was going on. But there's more. Honestly, if that was it, I would say he would escape. And I thought he was going to escape. This all comes to light because, and it'll be covered here, the league is investigating the Washington football team for basically that football organization has been an HR nightmare with a lot of horrible things being done to women and just a culture of shit. So the league has been diving into that franchise and looking at corporate emails. And I don't know, I guess the football team, Washington football team, has been working very closely with the league and being transparent and trying to be different, turn over a new leaf. So they've been opening up the doors. And then so they've been examining hundreds of thousands of emails. And this friend of Gruden's, who at the time worked for the team, they were looking at his emails, and he's a pal of Gruden's. And Gruden, these emails were uncovered, and then more than one. See, if you're, well, it doesn't matter because the lid was blown off of it, and several people were aware of it. I mean, they've got options at that point, and that are cover it up or make it known. And as soon as they made it known, Gruden resigned. And I'll get to all that here. But, okay. So he steps down. The New York Times detailed emails in which he had made homophobic and misogynistic remarks following the earlier report of racist statements about DeMaurice Smith, which I can't say after... I think that's a little rough to label him as a racist at this point. But I don't think it's going to matter because wait till you hear what he said about who he said it about. So the New York Times article talks about racist statements, but I just defer to the black people supporting him. I'll tell you what, man, I got black guys in my corner, Tim Brown and Tony Dungy, man. What do you think about that? His resignation was a striking departure from mixed into this is the league. If you look at any NFL stadium now, it says unity, respect in the end zone. Football players are allowed to have equality statements on their shoes, and the football players are what make the league. And if you've got some old white guy dropping shit that you're about to hear. And, even if it doesn't matter if I think he's not a racist. Some people might think that shit is racist. There is no option here. Gruden is out, and it's fucking ugly. I've resigned as head coach of the Las Vegas Raiders, he said on Twitter in a statement issued by the team. I love the Raiders, and I do not want to be a distraction. Thank you to all the players, coaches, staff, and fans of Raiders Nation. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt anyone. Well, I don't know. Mark Davis, the owner of the Raiders, said in a statement that he had accepted the resignation. Rick Bisaccia, the Raiders special teams coordinator, was elevated to interim head coach. Gruden's departure came after the report that NFL officials, as part of a separate workplace misconduct investigation that did not directly involve him, found the Gruden emails. He would casually and frequently unleash misogynistic and homophobic language over several years to denigrate people around the game and to mock some of the league's momentous changes. Now, of all of the things to go after, he's hitting all the hot buttons. Women, gay people, tolerance, people taking a knee. I mean, he is covering everything here. He denounced the emergence of women as referees, the drafting of a gay player. Remember Michael Sam? Wasn't that? The Rams drafted Michael Sam. And the tolerance of players protesting during the playing of the national anthem, according to emails reviewed by the Times. But wait, there's more. They get more specific here. So just hold your tongues until you hear what he did. Gruden's messages were sent to Bruce Allen, former president of the Washington football team, and others while he was working for ESPN as a color analyst during Monday Night Football. In the emails, Gruden called Roger Goodell. I'm just going to say it, okay? I'm just going to say it. Gruden called Roger Goodell a faggot and a clueless anti-football pussy. These are quotes. So Roger Goodell, so, whoever's doing the investigation, like, hey, Commissioner Goodell, you got to see this. He called you F rhymes with baggot. What? And he's a clueless anti-football pussy. And said that Goodell, he says that Goodell should not have pressured Jeff Fisher, then the coach of the Rams, to draft, quote, queers, a reference to Michael Sam, a gay player chosen by the team in 2014. I remember that. So the guy who runs the league, he refers to as F rhymes with baggot, a clueless anti-football pussy. And then he says that Goodell pressured Jeff Fisher, which God knows if that is true, to draft Michael Sam. It refers to Michael Sam as a queer. Oh, fuck. So he's hitting everything. In numerous emails during a 7-year period, from 11 to 18, Gruden criticized Goodell in the league for trying to... He made fun of the league for trying to reduce concussions. So all these things the league is working on, he's like, fuck no, man. We got to rub some dirt on it. Yeah, they should play with no helmets. And said that Eric Reed, I mean, here we got the former players killing themselves and shooting themselves in the chest so that their brains can be examined. And the league's like, well, we got to make it so the game is a little safer for people. And he doesn't like that. So forget that. At this point, the Michelin tire thing is old news. Nobody gives a shit about that. He's calling the boss F rhymes with baggot. And says that Eric Reed, a player who had demonstrated during the playing of the national anthem, should be fired. In several instances, Gruden used a homophobic slur to refer to Goodell and offensive language to describe some NFL owners, coaches, and journalists who cover the league. Gruden, Allen, the NFL, and the Raiders did not respond to requests for comment. Although not with the team at the time, Gruden was still influential in the league and highly coveted as a coach. Yeah, I can only imagine what it would be like if he was still the coach with all of this swirling around him. My God. The league said last week that it shared emails with the Raiders in which Gruden made those comments. Gruden told ESPN on Sunday that the league was reviewing the emails in which he criticized Goodell and explained that he had been upset about the team owner's lockouts of the players in 2011 when some of the emails were written. Gruden said in that interview that he had used an expletive to refer to Goodell and that he did so because he disapproved of Goodell's emphasis on safety, which he believed was scaring parents into steering their sons away from football. All right. They show a picture here of Goodell shaking hands with lineman Carl Nassib, who plays for the Raiders. And he came out as gay just recently. So, okay, it's impossible to keep him on after this surfaces, right? But then there's also the idea of, hey, those were private emails. Does that hold any water? I mean, intended to be for private eyes, playing devil's advocate here. What does that mean? Does that mean if somebody just hacked my personal email account? Of course, it wasn't a personal email account. It was a league account, which I don't know. I guess the Washington football team was going out of the way to make sure that everything was available so that they could be transparent with the league in their investigation. But still, Gruden sent it from a private account. He was an employee. He was not an employee with the league at the time. I mean, I understand why he's stepping down. He's being forced to step down, but it is still private. So if somebody hacked my account and saw what I say, I'm not saying that I say those things, but I do say some terrible things from time to time that I don't mean. Whenever I send Ben a text about doing the podcast, I usually have some type of word in there that I don't want you to know about. And I would be, if you had the no context, and it was when the world heard it, I would probably have to crawl into a corner and die. So are we crossing some type of line there with that? You've got some pretty big hitters supporting him. And while he was talking about this work stoppage, he flew off the handle and used some terrible language. Well, now he will no longer be able to do anything with football for as long as he lives. So what are we talking about here? I don't know. I'm not... I certainly can see why, with the league going down the road of all the things we talked about, and ultimately the league is the players, okay? And you've got young people, a mixed bag of people, and I think that ultimately he's got to go, just because. It would be terrible for the league if they're saying, all right, we're going to be inclusive now, because that is the direction that they've gone. Love it or hate it, that is the direction. And I don't have a problem with any of that. I don't give a shit if they decide to do that. It's their league. If they want to put unity in the end zone and make the players feel comfortable and encourage, facilitate this type of all are welcome type of mindset, it would fly in the face of that if this guy is going to be coaching. That would piss the players off. Okay? Somebody would have a problem with that, and then all the steps that they've taken to improve that whole you see what I'm getting at here? That whole frame of mind would be destroyed. You would be taking a step backward. So I get it. But it's just, it is a little wonky that all of the things he said were not intended to be seen by anyone. And I have a hard time believing that when a person's just flying off the handle and saying something terrible, I can't say for sure whether or not he's a hate monger. I just don't believe that. Gruden also criticized Obama during his reelection campaign in 2012, as well as then Vice President Joe Biden. Gruden called Biden a nervous, clueless pussy. I'll tell you what, man, that guy Biden, I don't like him as vice president either. He's kind of a pussy. He used similar words to describe Goodell and DeMaurice Smith. We already covered that. Oh, boy. Taken together, the emails provide an unvarnished look into the clubby culture of one NFL circle of peers where white male decision makers felt comfortable sharing. Oh, yeah, there was apparently they were like sending topless pics of chicks. They felt comfortable sharing pornographic images, deriding the league's policies, and jocularly sharing homophobic language. All right. Well, that's it. And that talks about, it's funny, in this New York Times article, they write some of the emails between Gruden and Allen, which is the dude for the Washington football team, also included businessmen friends Ed Drosty, the co-founder of Hooters, Jim McVeigh, an executive who has run the Outback Bowl, annually held in Tampa, and Nick Reeder, the founder of PDQ Restaurants, a Tampa-based fried chicken franchise. I don't know why they're trying to rope them into it. Those guys like, whoa, hang on, we didn't say anything. You don't need to mention us. Let's see, is there anything else on here? Allen, who was the son of legendary NFL coach George Allen and Gruden, blah, 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 blah. Gruden's father coached at Notre Dame? I didn't know that. Head coach? In June, the NFL congratulated Carl Nassib for coming out as gay. Goodell said he was proud of Carl for courageously sharing his truth today. Representation matters. Yeah, you see that the league has gone very, very far and to try to distance themselves from that type of rhetoric. So this is no surprise. Privately, Allen and Gruden appeared to have few boundaries in expressing homophobic and transphobic language. In one email from 2015 that includes Drosty, McVeigh, and others, Gruden crudely asked Allen to tell Brian Glazer, whose family owns the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, where Gruden coached until 2008, to perform oral sex on him. Tell you what, man, you got to have that guy suck. He can suck my dick. Allen and Glazer would, quote, take you up on that offer. Allen and, yeah, you see, I make horrible jokes like that all the time, okay? Of course, I don't work for an organization that is trying to distance themselves from that type of rhetoric. But then you're looking at the lens of 2021, looking back on, something from, 7 to 10 years ago. It's a different vibe. This is that whole cancel culture looking back in history. Very, very messy. Very slippery slope. I understand why the league is forcing this, and they are forcing this. But this is going to continue to be a thing, okay, because of the world that we live in. The only way this is salvageable, could have been salvageable, and that would be a Hail Mary, for lack of a better term, would be for Gruden to stand up and say, well, yeah, first of all, this is private, and I talk like that. I don't feel that way, but I talk like that all the time. That's when I'm in private moments. I use horrible language, and I sound like a horrible asshole. However, I'm not. And take from that what you will, and that's the end of it. And then walk away. And then hopefully the people that support you will speak on your behalf. People talk shit all the time. That's what shit talk is. I get it. Allen and Gruden also mocked Caitlyn Jenner, the nerve, who received an award from ESPN in 2015 after she transitioned. In an email from 2015, Allen and Gruden criticized a congressional bill that aimed to force the Washington franchise to change its name. So he is hitting everything, every hot button issue. Gruden is like hitting. He is a perfect from the free throw line. Again, using a vulgar term. To do that, Gruden took aim at Goodell and his staff, even though the commissioner had initially defended the team's right to keep the name. In 2017, Drosty, that's the Hooters guy, shared with the group a sexist meme of a female referee, to which Gruden replied, yeah, nice job, Roger. That same year, Gruden was sent a link to an article about NFL players calling on Goodell to support their efforts promoting racial equality and criminal justice reform. Gruden had advice for Goodell. He needs to hide in his concussion protocol tent. So, fuck. All right. Where do some of you stand on this?
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code PHIL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code PHIL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PHIL.
Chris K. writes, Gruden definitely owns truck nuts. John Gizmingo writes, Gruden is canceled because his career depends on the NFL. I guess the discussion was going on about Chappelle. Chappelle cannot be canceled because he works for himself. Partly true. The distribution of his content is not working for himself. Netflix has been on the hot seat about his comments. He could very easily be canceled. Don't think for a second that anybody who creates their own content and is their own boss doesn't have to answer to anyone. Kyle writes, side note, I watched Clayton Bigsby again last night. Hilarious it is. Sam M. says, I can't wait till this pussy era is behind us. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to. Eel_sushi says, who is this guy? Why does he look familiar? Me? You look new. Welcome. I don't recognize your name. Melinda says, I'm glad it got out. It shows his true colors. Well, now, wait a minute. So you're suggesting that all of this is true? He's a racist, homophobe? Is that what you're suggesting? Jesse says, employer, so if you don't want your personal emails read, don't send them to anyone's work email. Sam M. says, Zane has said worse shit more recently. He doesn't now, or no, he doesn't know because of current standards, but if we judge his past by today's standard, he's worse than Gruden. You are correct. Hell, I say worse shit than Gruden on email. I just don't share it with you. I'm not intending it. Like, I say horrible shit to Ben all the time. If Ben got pissed at me and let I'm just going to get ahead of this. I should just read them now to you is what I should do. If I pissed Ben off and he posted my text, people are going to be like, oh my God, I'm so hurt. Nah, don't be hurt. I'll be hurt. I don't mean shit. Melinda says, even if it's not intended to be seen, that's inconsequential to the fact that they were. If company email, it's fair game, Kyle writes. But if it's sent from his personal account, it should be off limits. Sam, do you realize how fucked Eric you are if we go back through your catalog? Oh yeah. And I'm too lazy to go back and edit it. I don't give a fuck. I'm like, I don't care. Because I have a policy in place, and that is don't try. If anybody ever brought it up to me about something I said in the past that was horrible, I'll say, yeah, I don't care. You're going to have to figure something. All right, find something to do with me. Let's see. Sam refers to the whole thing as a bunch of BS. I don't think he's racist. But I can't. This is tricky. Plus, he said it about Goodell, so you know Goodell's pissed off. So it just flies in the face directly with what the league has built. Okay, and you can't disrupt the players. The players ultimately are what drive the league. So if you suddenly don't make it so that the rich old white guy has to step down after horrific comments, you're screwed. There is no way you can side with this guy. No way, shape, or form. It has to happen. John says Chappelle could sell out any venue tomorrow. Chappelle doesn't need Netflix. Okay, well, what if he said something that was super horrific? What if he, and then the venues said we cannot engage him? Then it's very easy to cancel anybody. You know? You got to, shit in the past comes back to haunt people all the time. Especially if he says it under today's lens. If you in today's lens, it's one thing if you say something 10 years ago and it's looked at oddly with today's lens, that can still ruin you. But if you know full well what the lens of today is and you let something fly, well, that's even worse because you should know better. Bleeding Heart Brian says, Melinda, people can and do change over time. How recent are the emails? I've been on the other side of the political aisle in the past. Is that a judgment of who I am today? Wow, that's interesting. Bleeding Heart Brian from the back of the room with the flying elbow, who I would have thought, being that his name is Bleeding Heart Brian, he's more of a progressive, actually. But he's Melinda, let me just tell you this. If you think he really is like that because of comments made on private emails, I talk shit all the time. You would have to then indict me. And I don't think that is appropriate. I don't think it's appropriate at all to indict someone over something that long ago on a private message. Completely inappropriate. Not fair. It's not the same fucking playing field. However, it is unavoidable now. No one said this shit was fair. This could all end tomorrow for all of us based on what I just said. And being that he hit on women, misogyny, race, transphobic, homosexual, equality, black guys kneeling, concussions. I mean, that's the big 8 that they have been working on getting away from. Plus, he called the boss. F rhymes with Baggett. Oh, my God. No. There is no way you will survive this. Impossible. Wow. Jason Schaeffer is looking to get 300. New topic. This is boring now. You know what's boring, Jason? Seeing that your tits are not reducing in size. Why don't you enjoy 300 seconds, you fucking moron? I hope you crash your limo. Nobody tells me what the fuck to talk about. You fucking moron. You know what? Amanda got an unintentional permanent ban. You're very close. Dick. If I'm reading the comments and one of you fucking assholes tells me to move on or change the topic, go fuck yourself. We're on a fucking roll, having a great time. I'm hitting all the hot points that no one else will have the fucking nerve to talk about. And this truck nut dangling, Confederate flag wearing, Trump dick sucking asshole is telling me to move on. Fuck off. We are talking about Jason Schaeffer. Megan. Move on. This is boring. Fuck you. The fuck is wrong with you? That had to have been by design just to get me pissed. You fucking dick. Shit. Come on, man. Tyler says, what an excellent slew of insults. Let me tell you something. It's a gift. When I am enraged, the extent of my vocabulary expands tenfold. It's like when the Hulk gets mad, he gets stronger. That's how my vocabulary is. Shit, does that piss me off. Don't tell me that you're bored or you want us to move. You want me to move on. Just fucking go away. Who are you, Anna? Remember Anna? Are you going to write me a breakup letter? So pissed. I haven't been this pissed in a long, long time. Fuck. Boomer Bob says, are you going to go full John Jamingo? Down it. Where is that?
Well,
I know for the listeners, this was deemed the best article to talk about.
Yeah, I thought this was the worst article.
Best. So it's only downhill from here.
That's not true, because the next article is really good.
You have to talk about having some fucking optimism, Dave.
You have to explain who.
Okay, this is the Rubberneckers podcast. We're just having a little conflict about the quality of the story. Parkinson's Dave in Australia, where's he been? And they're like, this story's good. This story's good. And John Gismingo is just sitting there waiting in the wings, getting more and more annoyed with how it sounds. He doesn't like that they're arguing.
So it's only downhill from here.
That's not true, because the next article is really good.
You have to talk about having some fucking optimism, Dave.
You have to explain who decided that was the best article.
All right, you know what? You can all go fuck yourself. This is the last fucking Rubbernecker, and I'm dead fucking serious. Go ahead, laugh it up.
You can hear them cracking up right away. It's like they meant to do it.
Funny fucking boy. Laugh it up. I've had enough of your fucking donut jokes and enough of your other fucking shit. One guy doesn't show up. It's a big fucking thing. We got a prayer, right? Donut. Fat. Meanwhile, you're over there sucking on a fucking cigarette, and everything. I try to do nothing. You motherfucker don't do a fucking thing. You sit there on your ass, you make a couple things up, and then all of a sudden that's it. Nobody does nothing. We sit in here, we look like jerk-offs every fucking week. I try to make it a better show, and you know what? This isn't even fun anymore, and I'm fucking done with it. Rubberneckers is over. You can do whatever the fuck you want with the rest of you fucking guys. I don't care, but I've had enough of this fucking shit. Fuck yous all. Do something fucking better.
Did you hear that? Fuck yous all. You cannot say fuck yous all if you're from the Midwest. Okay, that's one word. That's a Northeast Corridor thing. Don't you dare bust out fuck yous all in the Midwest, the South, the West. That is exclusive. You got to have a fucking either a Pat steak or a Gino steak in either hand with, your feet in the skookle as you tell someone, fuck yous all.
Or if you can, fucking guys, I don't care. But I've had enough of this fucking shit. Fuck yous all. Do something fucking better if you can. You can't. Run the show. He's sitting there. Well, this is the first fucking topic's the worst fucking topic. And so you already are setting this up. What do you think? I'm a fucking moron? I know what the fuck you're doing. You think this is the first fucking time I've ever done something like this?
Can you imagine how wet the microphone is? Fuck you all.
You fucking assholes can go fuck yourselves, every fucking last one of yous. I've had it. I came in here, I was going to try to go through this thing, but if you're just going to sit here and try to make me the asshole out of this fucking show, go fuck yourselves. All of yous.
He dropped the
mic.
mic.
Did you guys hear about the woman who got
Okay, so then these guys are picking up the pieces. They have no idea. He went fucking Leroy Jenkins on it.
No, we haven't finished this article.
Now, I'm done.
Oh,
go fuck yourself. I'm leaving the thing. I'm not putting the show up. Shut the thing off. Give the fucking Patreons their money back. No, I'm fucking done. I've had enough. I've had enough of every one of you motherfuckers. When this fucking shit stops being fun, I'm fucking done. So I hope you're fucking happy. Hope you enjoyed yourself. Go make a fucking podcast where somebody will actually listen to it with the rest of you fucking 5 morons. One that never shows the fuck up.
Oh!
Enjoy yourself.
I just have one thing to say.
Go ahead.
It's fish.
Bye, motherfuckers.
Okay. Did you also hear that other thing? You cannot say "go ahead" in the Midwest. That's an East Coast corridor thing. Go ahead.
Fish.
Bye, motherfuck up. Enjoy yourself.
I just have one thing to say.
Go ahead.
It's fish.
Bye, motherfuckers.
So that was the end of Rubberneckers podcast. I think so. John, who is listening to this right now, he hosts the Gaslighting podcast with, God, what the fuck is his name? They were talking shit about me not long ago. Yes, gaslighting. 2 rageaholics discuss this crazy, messed up world and the stupid humans who inhabit the planet. On the episode, now, hey, Devin is the other guy. Devin and John Gismingo. I don't know if Devin was in that rage quit. I'm just learning about these things as we go. Okay? Yeah, but here's the thing. Now, these people have day jobs. This takes some effort. The only thing you have to do, though, is be more consistent. You can have like a certain amount of days between episodes and then more days. Like if it's going to be weekly, make sure it's weekly. Don't have big gaps of time when you don't have it. Okay? In the Stretchin' Gretchen episode, that's when these dick bags went after me. You can listen to that. And then in the anger management episode, they also went after your old pal Eric Zane. The Discord nitwits invade the Eric Zane Show live feed. And as usual, Comrade Zane didn't disappoint with his opinion on Jamie Spears and the Britney Spears saga. So no doubt fuckhead John is all on this Britney Spears bandwagon because the mob has told him to feel that way. He seems like the type of a dim bulb who would support that. So there you go. If you want to listen to this shit, it's Gaslighting Podcast. Gaslighting, all one word. Just search it wherever you download podcasts, and you can have at it. Boomer Bob, you used to do a show with John. You were in attendance during that rage quit. Are you on a podcast too? I think you are. It would be nice of me to point that out. Okay. I see Boomer Bob's podcast on Apple Podcasts. That is a thing. Are you doing it solo? I still do the show. He says, I still do the show with John. Boomer Bunker. Live 2 times a week. Okay, so you and John. Excellent. All right. That all comes to us because of Jason Schaeffer telling me I'm bored, move on. Where is he, by the way? Where is he? I'm not done with you. Yeah, you need another 300 seconds for that shit. You can't just go out of your way to try to fucking piss me off. I don't let Kenny get away with that shit. I'm not letting you get away with that shit. This is not a democracy. Down it, down it, down it. Fat, fat, fat. John Pulaski. He's a piece of shit. East Coasters ranting in their filthy accent. Hard pass. Yeah, you know what? It's discretion like that kept you from getting a better wife. Fuck off. Ridiculous. You're eating 300 seconds too, you round fucking mound of sound. There you go. Take that. The Open and the live stream of the Eric Zane Show podcast. Actually, I've already done that. What a dumbass. I'm encouraging people to... one more thing about John Gruden. No, I'll get to that in a second. Contribute to the show. If you have a something that you find interesting and fun that you're reading and something that I should be talking about it, don't keep it a secret. Send it along. Contribute to the content of the show with interesting stories. Eric at ericzaneshow.com on the Shoreliner striping inbox. Blue Frost IT, the managed IT service provider for the Eric Zane Show podcast. Call them 616-200-8550. Email info@bluefrostit.com. So if your small or medium-sized business does not have tech support, what are you going to do when something goes wrong? Stop everything? Okay? Time is money. And especially if you're in a small or medium-sized business, people there wear many hats. For you to just suddenly urge somebody to help you repair it or unhook all the shit and take it to Best Buy, I mean, God help you. It would be so much easier if you just had somebody in the fold who's kind of like the watchman over your gear, and you just reach out to them when the shit hits the fan. Hey, Alan from Blue Frost, we've got a problem. He remotes in, he fixes. If not, he comes directly to where you are, somewhere in West Michigan, and takes care of it. Blue Frost IT, 616-200-8550. If you need to upgrade your tech, that's called project work. Different than managed IT service provider work. Get a complimentary consultation on how you can upgrade your tech. It's based on what your business does for a living. For example, if you don't need a high-end video card, he's not going to recommend you get one for your new setup, okay? He can also help you retrofit your office with the appropriate wall jacks and wiring and things like that. That's a specialized field right there. Or if you're moving to a new location or new construction, you're going to want to have the infrastructure of your building to match your tech, okay? You can't all be sharing one wall jack, for God's sake. Blue Frost IT, that's what they do. In West Michigan, 616-200-8550. Please manage me. Please manage me. Jesus. Please. And I'm encouraging you to mention me. That's what I'm trying to say. Please manage me. What the hell just happened? Did I have a stroke? Mention me. Gun school tonight. You can still get in if you want to take the class at Groff Shop Hardware. It sounds so homespun, I know. But that's where it's happening in Holland, Michigan. CPL class tonight and Thursday. Go to princearming.com or click on the logo on my website. It'll take you right to the website. Hit events and sign up. $125. Got 4 hours tonight, 4 hours on Thursday night, and then you're done. You'll have the certification you need. You take that to your county anywhere in Michigan and apply for your pistol license, which will cost you another $110. They'll fingerprint you. They'll background check you. In about a month, you will get your license in the mail, and then you can carry your pistol concealed. That's it. You don't even need to own a pistol to take the class, okay? Don't worry about that. In fact, if you don't own a pistol, don't go buy one, then take the class. Go to the class, take the class. You're going to actually get range time where you're firing different weapons. You just borrow one of theirs for a couple of bucks. Boy, this 22 is not bad. Or, maybe you're a lady with a small hand. You want a little 38 or something like that. Or you're a dude. I carry a 9mm. I carry a Springfield XD subcompact 9mm. Terrific pistol. Little bulky, but I like it. I can put it in a nice spot. Carry your pistol concealed like your old pal, Eric Zane. When I was going for a walk with Sarah Rook, she goes, "Do you have your gun?" I go, "No, I didn't bring it." She said, "Oh, wow, I thought you'd have your gun." I go, "What, do you want me to pull out my gun and shoot dogs?" My God. All right. The quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders is Eric Carr. He just built a home, or just purchased a home. No, he's building a new home. Take it back. I'm screwing this whole thing up. He has a home in Las Vegas. Okay? Beautiful. $3.5 million home. His neighbor that just finished building a home. I tell you what, man, I love my neighbors. What did I say? His name is Derek Carr. Am I getting that wrong? What did I say? John Carr? Fuck, I'm ruining everything. Derek Carr, the quarterback of the Las Vegas Raiders, owns a house. And John Gruden just built one right next door. My God. Holy shit. Boy, I'm looking at, I tell you what, man, that's a beautiful home. Wait till you see this thing. Gruden is in the middle of a 10-year, $100 million contract. 10 years, $100 million. Look at this thing. This aerial view of this elaborate mansion. I don't know why, but I thought that would be a higher price tag. That actually seems like a bargain for $4.3 million. It's flat out amazing. The residence, 2-story home. It has 2 lots totaling 1.7 acres, sits on a lot that measures 0.77 acres, 6,850 square feet on the first floor, 1,834 square feet on the second floor. Garage measures 1,938 square feet. I remember the first home that I bought in Midland, Michigan. It was 970 square feet. 970. 5 bedrooms, 5 full bathrooms, and 2 half bathrooms. Oh. Derek Carr's home, formerly known as John Carr, it was purchased for $3.6 million. So Gruden's is a little bit more. Can you imagine being neighbors to him, and then you're like out mowing the lawn, and you see John Gruden out there? Hey, coach. Oh, God. I called him Eric Carr, too. God, I'm terrible. I'm an asshole. So awkward, though. You're living next to the guy. Ugh, shit. I guarantee you John Gruden's not going to email anymore. He's going to be sending messages via smoke signal from this day forward. Holy shit. All right, moving on. The football game between Alabama and Texas A&M. Okay, now in Alabama, that football team is freaking... There are a few places in the nation where that's it. That's the pro team, you know? So this is life or death. This is the same community that you remember the name Harvey Updike or Harvey Opdyke? He was the guy who poisoned the trees at Toomer's Corner on the campus of Auburn University. You know, every time the football team at Auburn would win, they would toilet paper the trees or whatever. Toomer's Corner. That's like the big meeting place for the students after the big football game. Well, Harvey Updike, Alabama fan, after Auburn won one year, he poisoned the trees, and then he went on the that radio show. What's the guy's name? Some local bigwig. Some guy's talk radio show, sports talk radio show, and said, "Yeah, hey man, I poisoned the trees, motherfucker," and the trees ended up dying. That guy, I think, went to jail for that. So they are not above horrible behavior. And the Texas A&M victory over the Crimson Tide led to a catastrophe, which I saw a video of the girlfriend of the wife of the Texas A&M kicker. She went bonkers, ran onto the field. That was an incredible win. But we heard yesterday how Eli Gold announced the Texas A&M kick by saying nothing.
By Seth Small. Is down.
What happens?
No call. He doesn't say a word because he's a stupid fat fucking homer. How can you not appreciate that? You don't have to like it, but you should do the call, idiot.
Well, the league is going to get themselves $250,000.
Shut up.
Because everybody who does not have a seat and those who did have now flooded the field here at Kyle Field in College Station. The scoring drive, 8 plays, 54 yards.
Well, that's nothing. He may have been upset there, but he wasn't as pissed off as the guy in this story. An argument over the Crimson Tide's loss to Texas A&M on Saturday led to a deadly shooting at an Alabama home. 2 morons started fighting over which team was better at a gathering in Bessemer, Alabama, which is just outside of Birmingham, when the game was in its final minutes Saturday night. Lieutenant Christian Clemens told the local news the homeowner asked the men to leave. Shots were fired outside. Officers found Keelan Ahmad Pickens had been shot several times in the torso. Fuck. The 27-year-old was taken to a hospital where he was pronounced dead at 3:20 a.m. Sunday. The shooter fled the scene before officers arrived. Clemens said they know his identity. As of this reporting yesterday afternoon, the guy was still at large. You may have caught him by now. Unbelievable. Yeah, a fight over the football team. I thought I was bad when years ago the Lions lost, of course, some stupid play. And I went into my garage and grabbed a golf club and started to destroy. This is when I was at my rock bottom. And started to break shit. Anything glass got destroyed. Swinging a golf club like a madman throughout the inside of my garage. My neighbor Ken Trethaway. All of a sudden I hear, "You okay? Hey, man." Hey, Ken. What's up, buddy? Yeah, just the Lions lost. I'm just, I'm blowing off a little steam, whatever. Normally I go for a run or take the kids for a walk in the wagon, but, just destroying this shit here. No big deal. I swear to God, after he saw me do that, the relationship was never the same. They distanced themselves, disavowed, because they're like, this guy is a fucking unhinged lunatic. More stupidity involving football. Heinz Field in Pittsburgh. After the game gets done, the grounds crew has to make sure the team is in, or the field is in, working order as it should be. Which, it's a synthetic surface, so there's not a lot to it. They run a machine over it, and it vacuums it. And you ever been running a vacuum over like a portion of your house where like maybe there's a bunch of sand or grit and you hear it all get sucked up into the thing? Well, there's some old timer running the machine, and he notices that in one of the end zones that the machine is like picking up an unbelievable amount of material. What the hell is going on here? So he shuts down the machine, and they bring out a couple more people, and they're like touching it, and there's a lot of small little fragments and a lot of a very fine grit, if you will, gray in nature, and small pebble-like chunks on there. It's like, well, what the hell happened here? There was an elaborate amount of this material on here. It's like someone had dumped it. And, someone had broken the rule that you are not allowed to deposit the remains of your loved ones onto the football field. And, yes, some asshole decided after the game the other night to somehow get onto the field without anyone noticing and dumping an urn full of ashes into the end zone of Heinz Field. Holy shit. A Steelers spokesman said the team wants to make it clear that is not okay. I don't know if you've ever seen ashes before, remains, but you will get bone fragments in there that kind of get swept up and put into the vessel. The only reason why I know this is because my fuckhead son decided to open up the urn of my mother-in-law, and the dumb cock spilled the shit, spilled my mother-in-law everywhere. And the queen of the forest had to clean it up, and she kicked his ass. He was probably 10 at the time and actually smacked the shit out of him for that, and he deserved it. My God. So there's all sorts of, so you're going to get some guy who falls on the field and is fucking, thank God they found it. Can you imagine if somebody got fucking tackled in the end zone and there's ashes all over the dude? No suspect or other information was released on the incident. Not sure how he got on there or what happened. I guess in that game, like one of my favorite players in the NFL, Juju Smith-Schuster, was injured, and he is out for the year. That bums me out. I love that guy. Yeah, I don't know, man. Dumping ashes. That's, I don't know, maybe into the ocean, I guess. We just buried the ashes of my father-in-law and my mother-in-law. We had one urn. We have one. Okay, when the ashes of my mother-in-law were put into the vessel, they took a little bit of them and put them in a small vessel and gave that to Diana. We still have that vessel. That's the one that Jim opened up like a dumbass. Mom, curiosity got the best of me. Wham! We still have that, but most of the remains are buried in a grave with her husband, Diana's dad, Veteran Cemetery in Holly, Michigan. You ever see that scene from The Big Lebowski when Walter spreads Donnie's ashes over the cliff into the fucking wind with the dude standing right behind Walter as Walter says some nice words for Donnie? And the shit hits the wind, and it goes all over the dude. All over him. What the fuck, man? What's all that? Enough with the fucking nom shit. They have a big hug. It's a touching moment. Great scene. Big Lebowski, one of my all-time favorite movies. Don't forget it. All right. So that's what's going on. That's a lot of sports stories. Holy shit. We're not done, though. I do want to remind you that I have merchandise available at ericzaneshow.com. Click where it says merch. Get yourself a T-shirt. Thank you. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Jesus, I'm just speaking horribly today. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage encourages you to reach out to them when it is time for that. Maybe it's a refi. Maybe you're just buying a new home. Maybe it's your first. Okay? Reach out at 231-332-6505. Anywhere in the U.S. with the exception of Alaska, Hawaii, South Carolina, or Maine. It can help you in any one of those states. If your credit score stinks, that's all right. More than likely, he can get you into a mortgage. Don't be ashamed of that. That happens. Who gives a shit about the past? Let's worry about right now. He does not care that you have a dog dick 550 credit score. No one cares but you. Get over it. It's time to do better. So let's say he does, by some miracle, get your 550 credit score ass into a mortgage. This is not going to be a 2.5% fixed 15-year. It's going to be a catastrophe 7% 30-year. But paying on a 7% nut is a hell of a lot better than paying rent, dummy. So get into that loan as quick as possible. And then be good and make your payments on time. Then after a year, call them back up and say, all right, I've paid on time for 1 full year. What's my credit score now? You got a 620. You still suck tons of dick, but you're a lot better. I can get you in a 5.8. Okay. Another 18 months, you're sitting at a 780. Another 18 months, you can refi that shit for a 15-year fixed at 2.3. That's called rebuilding your credit. That is a thing. So quit being an asshole and paying rent to some dick who's spending your money. 231-332-6505. Then there's my pal, Frank the Tank Fuss. It is the 12th of October. We are in the midst of the period of time every year when Medicare recipients re-enroll. Have Frank take care of all of that for you. MyPolicyShop.com. 616-914-4070. There are some steps that should be taken by every recipient of Medicare to ensure that you have the most coverage you can possibly get. That may involve what's known as a supplemental life policy. They're like dirt cheap, and they fill in all the gaps that Medicare does not cover. Frank will explain it all. And he does all of this for you for free. Doesn't cost you a dime for his amazing effort. I'm looking forward to dealing with Frank come November 1, because that's when I buy my insurance on the marketplace. Healthcare.gov, Obamacare, whatever you want to call it. Frank does all that shit for me. He is my independent, licensed insurance agent. Anything at all. Life, health, home, car, dental, supplemental, Medicare. Frank the Tank, Frank the Tank, Frank the Tank Fuss. Go to mypolicyshop.com. I take that back. Don't go there. Go to buyinsurancehere.com. Fill out the form, and off you go. Or call or text him if you're more of like a, hey, I want to talk to you before I do anything type of guy. Some of you are, okay? 616-914-4070. 616-914-4070 for Frank. I love this next story. Peter Jackson from The Lord of the Rings hates Harvey Weinstein so much that when they were making The Lord of the Rings, Harvey Weinstein was a big fucking fish. Like, if you pissed him off, he would make it so that your movie was not a thing. The films were originally supposed to be developed under Miramax and Harvey Weinstein, as Miramax owned the rights to J.R.R. Tolkien's series. But when Weinstein tried to pressure Peter Jackson to make just one or two films from Tolkien's books, Peter Jackson was adamant, no, I don't want to do that. The relationship between Peter Jackson and the two reportedly became strained, and eventually Jackson was allowed to pitch his film to other studios under a tight time frame. The window of time was insane. They shopped it around. Peter made a pitch to video that's pretty impressive, taken to a variety of places. Most people were balking at the notion of doing more than one film. The popular opinion was, no, we have to see how the first movie does and then invest the rest of the money. This, according to Elijah Wood on the, what's it called again? The Dak Shepard, I Relapse Every Month podcast or some shit. The film would ultimately land at New Line Cinema, all the Lord of the Rings films, where producer Bob Shaye saw Peter Jackson's vision and agreed to 3 films made at the same time. It obviously worked out. But Jackson was so pissed off at the hoops that he had to jump through to make this all happen, and was so bitter to Harvey Weinstein. In the film, they rub Weinstein's nose in shit. The story is told now that the characters known as the Orcs, one of them was made to look like Harvey Weinstein. You see this right here? And if you're on the audio podcast, you'll click the link to get to the bottom of it. This bad guy, who that's a close-up shot. There's the a distance shot when there's some battle going on with those fucking scary-looking orcs. This one right here was crafted to look as like Harvey Weinstein's fucking face. How great is that? Oh, my God. So this actually happened. The orc was made to look like Harvey Weinstein. Elijah Wood revealed that the story was recently brought up. They were talking to Sean Astin about his first memory of getting to New Zealand. He was telling how it came up on another podcast. For the first time, Wood told Shepard, that his co-host Monica Padman, he had seen these orc masks, and one of the orc masks, and I remember this vividly, was designed to look like Harvey Weinstein as a sort of fuck you. Elijah Wood said, I think it's okay to talk about this now. He's fucking incarcerated. What was that movie with Elijah Wood in which he was really, really creepy with the yellow eyes? It was made to be like a comic book. I think it was made by Richard Rodriguez with, what's that fucking guy that was in The Wrestler? Mickey York. Fucking great. Really, or was that a Tarantino film? I think it was Tarantino and Richard Rodriguez teamed up, maybe. What was it called? Fight City? Something City. Elijah Wood was creepy as shit in that. He had like yellow eyes. Sin City! There it is, Sin City! Jason Schaeffer back in the fold. Watch your back. Dirk is about to get 300 seconds. Lord of the Rings, the movie's so boring, even the trees were walking. No, bullshit. And you're talking about the Ents, okay? And those are not boring movies. Those are great movies. The hell is wrong with you? And then you got to go see the Hobbit. There's like multiple parts of that one. That was awesome. I love those movies so much. I'm a big nerd. Frank Miller made it? Apparently that's a quote from Clerks 2. Dirk says. All right, I get you. Kyle Ryan says we should do a game. Zane struggles with movie actor, athlete names, and audience shouts out answers. That's perfect. And Dirk is getting credit for the Clerks 2 reference. I never saw Clerks 2. Who directed Sin City? I need to know that now. I want to see if I was right on that poll. I think Frank Miller wrote it. We're both right. Frank Miller. Did I say Richard Rodriguez? It's Robert Rodriguez. I was 33% right. Robert Rodriguez. It was very, very good. I love that. All right. So that's awesome that they put him in there. Very, very funny. Special guest director Quentin Tarantino. I think I get credit for some of this. With the late, what's her name? She died. Brittany Cummings. Died under weird circumstances. Brittany Griner? No, she's a basketball player. I think Brittany Murphy. Wasn't she in that? Really hot. Oh, my God. Something about Brittany Murphy I was just reading. Yeah, it was just an article the other day. On a Sunday morning in December 2009, Brittany Murphy suddenly collapsed in the bathroom. I never knew this, of the West Hollywood home she shared with her husband, Simon Monjack. Later that morning, the petite, doe-eyed actress was taken to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center, where she was soon pronounced dead. Authorities initially said the 32-year-old died from a lethal combination of pneumonia and prescription drugs. But a new two-part documentary delves deeper into the mysterious, nefarious circumstances around her tragic death and troubled relationship with her husband, Simon Monjack. It just premiered on HBO Max. What Happened to Brittany Murphy looks at how she went from one of the generation's most promising young stars in films such as Clueless and Girl Interrupted to one of Hollywood's darkest tragedies. In the documentary, reporter Amber Ryland recalls getting an exclusive interview with Monjack shortly after Murphy's death. It was in the back of my mind, am I sitting with a murderer? She says, could he have killed his wife? So it delves into that. And then there was something else, too. It's a long article. Sorry. And he died, too. The coroner who handled Murphy's case and medical examiner speculate that tragedy might have been avoided if someone had taken Murphy to the hospital in the days leading up to her death. The cause of death is not a mystery. The mystery is why didn't somebody catch it? Had they taken her to the doctor a few days before, she'd still be alive. Says Winter, who added that he received information that Monjack made a habit of keeping Murphy up late into the night to devastating effect. I think he died. Yeah. Then, in May 2010, 5 months after she died, Simon Monjack died at the age of 40, also seemingly due to pneumonia and possibly drugs. Conspiracy theories abound. Murphy's estranged father, Angelo Bertolotti, claimed his daughter had been poisoned at the time. It says Sharon, I don't know who it is because I didn't get it in the article, attributed the young couple's death to mold in their mansion, but medical examiner said she saw no evidence of that. Raglan, don't know who that is, thinks Monjack might have preferred death over the truth being revealed. She says he would rather be dead than to be discovered as the con artist he was. Ooh. I want to check that out. My God, was she pretty. Holy shit. Incredible. All right. I'll link that up. You guys can check that out. Bruce completely cashed out on his back. Look at him. It looks like he's dead. His eyes are actually open, but he's asleep. Dude, what are you doing? Oh, he just woke up. He looked at me. The shit that they do behind me. The Duchess of New Jersey talking about the Elder Wand. That's a Harry Potter thing. What are we talking about here? Are we going to get into a discussion about Harry Potter? Because I know everything there is to know. All right. We won't. I don't want to do that. Maybe another podcast. I love Harry Potter. I'm a closet nerd for Harry Potter, Rocky movies, Rambo movies, Lord of the Rings movies, Star Wars movies. I love all that shit. Mob movies. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. We're going to get to the asshole of the day in just a second. Hire me on Cameo. It's just $15. The two ways to do it. I think the absolute best way to do it is on your desktop or your laptop. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. You can also use the Cameo app. If you are going to use an app, use the Cameo app. If you use another app, like through Apple, they really bend me over. I mean, of the $15 that it costs that I charge, I get like 6. It's stupid. Somebody's making money off your old pal Eric. So if you do it through the desktop, you're able to leave a tip if that's what you choose, and it works out best. Cameo.com/Eric Zane. I will do that. I'll do one live on the podcast for you. I can do that. We've got comedy, Full House Comedy. Go to fullhousecomedy.com if you are in West Michigan. Several venues featuring shows from Full House Comedy. Okay, I could have swore I just had the month of October, and everything just went kablooey. If you go to fullhousecomedy.com and check out the shows, you'll be able to see a complete list of shows coming to the area, including Chris Kattan this week. All right? Coming up, Chris Kattan. Fullhousecomedy.com. If you need a dumpster in West Michigan, call or text 616-375-9962. That's 616-375-9962 for dumpster divers. Not all dumpsters are created equal. And if you're looking to, I love the day when the dumpster pulls up and you just start throwing shit away. And I flat out love to do that, and we need to do that, and it's going to happen. I just need to make that call or send that text to, Kyle from Dumpster Divers, man. Here's the thing, Eric Zane. And you can do the same. Their dumpsters are priced differently than the other schmucks who haul that ugly, long, rusted-out thing into your driveway. They have a weight restriction on those, but it's a weight number that you can't possibly hit just filling it up with household junk. But you're paying for it. You're paying for a weight limit that you don't need to hit. Dumpster Divers says you're not going to hit that weight limit, so we're lowering the weight limit that the dump charges, so you pay less for the dumpster. That's why the number one reason why you need to call Dumpster Divers when it comes, there is a big difference in dumpsters. 616-375-9962, call or text. They also do junk removal. So if you got a bunch of shit in the garage, you say, everything over here, get it out. They do that. Call them. They'll give you an estimate. Hey, all the drywall in this room, I want it all out. Can you remove it all? I don't care. Just rip it all out. They'll do that too. That's called demolition. All at dumpsterdiversllc.com. You want to see, get more information about a quote, or just call or text these guys. It's one of two people are going to answer your call. It's going to be either Emilio, the not black guy, not black Emilio, or, of course, Kyle, man. Hey, Eric Zane. They will answer your call. These are the two guys that run the business. Dumpster Divers. Okay, what are we going to do about this asshole of the day? What are you thinking? Dean won it yesterday for some reason. Jason Schaeffer gets a nomination. Okay, this is not your workplace. You do not make decisions here. Your job, shut the fuck up and use your ears. That's all. It's your only one job you have. So depending on how I go over this list here on my protocol, I'm giving you a nomination. John Gruden, is that an asshole of the day? Is Daisy for destroying the rubber toys an asshole of the day? I'd have to give myself a nomination for asshole of the day for smashing into Diana's car and driving the RV with the parking brake on. Facebook always gets an asshole of the day nomination. Tim Brown, Tony Dungy endorsed John Gruden. I don't know if they will now. The NFL pissed off at John Gruden. He has to step down. How about the Alabama fan that shot his buddy over the Texas A&M victory? How about the asshole who scattered the ashes onto the turf at Heinz Field? Juju is out for the year. Elijah Wood reveals that there's a Harvey Weinstein mask in The Lord of the Rings. I'm sure we talked about a number of other things as well. We talked about donut, fat. John Gismingo's temper tantrum from the Gaslighting podcast. Who do you think should be the asshole of the day? We also talked about Brittany Murphy. Asshole of the day, John Gruden. Harvey Updike, the tree killer. All right. That's about it. No other nominations. Boy, you guys sure seem chatty when the show is going on. And then I actually ask you for input for me to ponder, and you suddenly clam up. Thank you so much for that. I felt like an asshole, so I'm giving myself the asshole of the day for smashing into Diana's car. Don't you guys say shit about that. There you go. I still think Jason Schaeffer should hang on to that nomination, and he's likely to get one in the future if he doesn't shut up. All right, there we go. Another show in the books. Don't it. Thank you so much. If you would, please subscribe to the audio podcast. Even if you don't listen to the audio podcast, subscribe on Apple Podcasts or whatever podcasting platform. Could be Spotify or whatever. Just search Eric Zane Show or go to my website and click on the free podcast link and subscribe to the audio podcast. On Apple Podcasts, would you do this for me too? Leave me a review. Okay? I would appreciate a review. Hopefully you like it and you'll leave me a nice one. Otherwise, I'll talk to you on Facebook. Thanks again, folks. Until next time, bye-bye.
Susan, it's so great to finally be able to get together again.
Oh, it sure is. And I really appreciate you picking up the bill.
I'm happy to. I've got the extra cash. Since we've all been driving so much more again, I've been using Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy.
Wait a minute. Are you saying you actually get paid cash when you buy gas with the Get Upside app?
Yes, up to 25 cents a gallon. Cash back every time I buy gas.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Some months I make $200 to $300.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Get Upside app now.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code PHIL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 50 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code PHIL for a 25 cents a gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code PHIL.